Hello guys, welcome to another of our video tutorial, and today I will be teaching you guys about the for loops. Okay, so the for loops are used to iterate items of a collection, such as a list, such as a set, such as a dictionary, such as a string, such as a tuple, and every other data collection data types we have in Python. Okay, so you can use the for loop to iterate over them. Okay, so I'm going to go into the practical session right now and you will learn more about that. Okay, so for you to actually use the for loop, you must first of all create a variable. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable of a string right now. Okay, before I proceed, let me first of all explain this to you. This is a syntax for I in name. Okay, so this I now is called the counter. It is called the counter. It holds one character on every iteration of this particular string here. So this name here can be anything, and that is the same thing as here. So it can be anything depending on what you have initially named your variable. So this counter, which is represented with this letter I, can be any name also, but it has to be a meaningful name. Okay, then this variable name can also be anything depending on what you're actually trying to do. Okay, so this is the format or the syntax. Then when you hit your enter button, you can see also that it's already indented. Okay, so this is how you start up your for loop activities. So we can say for I in name, print I. So when you run your program, you're going to see this. Okay, so Samuel is printed on the dashboard with each character occupying a new line. The S is occupying a new line, and so are the other rest of the characters. Okay, so if you also want to, like we did before, if you also want to make them to be on the same line, you will do what I did the other time, something like this. So you can run your program again. This time around, you can see that Samuel is on the same line. Okay, every character is on the same line, no longer a new line. Okay, so this is how you carry out your for loop activity. Okay, so let's go into a list. We have actually used this as an example. This is a string, so we are going to go into the list aspect of the for loop. Okay, okay, so this is an example of a list. All right, so I'm going to use the same format I used before. If you like, you can change this name to mean something else. Like I told you, it can be anything, but I just want to be consistent with the names I'm using. Run that. So you can see each number is displayed on a new line, 1 to 5. Okay, so this is how you carry out your for loop using the list as an example. All right, so if you want to work on a list with a very large number, for instance, if you're to work on a list that has about 1,000 numbers, I am sure you're not going to go into the details of writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the rest of it. Okay, so that brings us to what we we know as the range function in list in for loop. So we use the range function to iterate over a number that is large instead of typing them individually. Okay, so what you do is you do range, then in brackets, if you want the number to start from 0, you will start with 0 first. Then if you're ending the number at, let's say, 50, that means 50 will be your last number. Now what it literally means is that your number is going to start from 0 up until 49. The last number is usually not printed out. Okay, so you start from 0 until 49. So that is what is going to be displayed. Okay, so I'm going to use the same method so that it could be printed on the same line for everyone else to see. Okay, so if we run that, okay, so you can see already that we have our numbers from 1 up to 49. Okay, sorry, from 0 up until 49. All right, so this is how you go about doing that when you have a large number to work with. As usual, you can't be working with 1 to 10. When you're working with a very large collection, this is how you go about it, especially when it has to do with a number. Okay, so this particular part has also brought me to what I want to teach you about. You know, there are times you may be asked to work with a particular type of numbers, probably the odd numbers or the even numbers, or the numbers that are having specific difference. Maybe they are in 3s, they are in 6, they are in 7, they are in 8, as in the difference between the first and the second number is a certain kind of number. So if you are to work with a number in such a range, what you will do is what is going to be set as the step. Okay, so we'll call that the step. Assumably you want to work with even numbers. Okay, let's assume we want to work with even numbers. Okay, so 0 to 50, I'm sure it will start from 0, 2, 4, 6. So what you will do is to come down to this place after the first number you're starting with and the last number you're supposed to stop at. Then the next number is what is called the step. It is the difference between the first and the second number, the second and the third number. All right, so when you run your program again, we're going to get a number as all even numbers. Okay, so you can see that right now the odd numbers displayed are all even numbers. Okay, so this is the method of getting an even number. So if you want to get the numbers to be odd numbers, okay, so that is what you're going to also get. You'll start with 1. That means the next number will be 3, the next one will be 5, next one will be as the case may be. So when you run your program again, you're going to get the numbers as odd numbers. Okay, so you can see here that the numbers appears in as odd numbers rather. So this is what happens when you want to get a number in a particular form. Let's say you want to get them to be in 3s, so you start from 0. Your step will be 3, so it means that the first number will be 0, the second one will be 3, the third one will be 6, as the case may be. Okay, so when you run that, okay, so that is that about the step. Okay, now mind you that each character here, like I told you, this counter here on each iteration holds 1 character, so that is why it will be displayed here as a separate number. Then this the for loop will go back again on this range. The second number will be whatsoever the difference here is, it will hold it and print it again. The third iteration, it will be the third number after this, then it will keep printing them on the screen until the last number. Okay, so that is how you work with the for loop in Python. Take care.